292 public episode.
Woohoo!
You guys like wet food or dry food?
Ooh, well, it depends on the time. So honestly, if I'm sitting on the couch just trying to have like a nice little snack, give me a little bag of like dry food, right? And I'm just a little crunch on it.
Yeah.
But if I'm trying to really satisfy myself, I'll get down on all fours and I'll eat it straight out of the can.
Do you remember those? Do you remember the old? They probably still make them, but the original Beggin strips that kind of look like combos.
Beggin strips?
Yeah, Beggin.
Oh,
Feels
for
like
animals,
bacon.
not.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Well, humans can eat them too. No judgment.
That's what I was gonna
no
say.
Judgment.
I definitely tried one of those when I was like 9. I'm like, that's not half bad. No wonder dogs like it.
Yeah, no, that was a great bit as a kid.
It's just because my grandma would put the dog food in like plastic containers that were like cereal containers, but on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was so funny whenever they would get like a new dog food to try it. And my grandpa would always laugh his ass off and be like, that is fucked up.
The dogs probably think you're really chill if you do that.
Yeah.
It's like if you were in prison and you saw one of the prison guards, they don't bring in their own lunch. They eat the prison lunch. They're like, I like this stuff.
That
guy's really chill.
No. That wouldn't be chill. That's like an enemy. That's going into
comes
prison
in on his day off to eat.
Yeah, to eat your food off of your plate. That's my fucking food that you're eating. That's my fucking food in that cereal container. And you're taking it out of my bowl? Fuck that, man. I'm going in on you.
Goes back to eat at the cafeteria with his old friends. Like
Comfortable.
a high schooler.
Get a day pass to visit.
Yeah, they should have an anniversary dinner.
Going in like
what is it called? Or class reunion.
Yeah,
they should have a class reunion for prison.
The graduating class of 2025 when you get graduate.
So the OGs can come back and be like, "So what have you been up to?" Not too much. I've been in a different prison for most of it. I moved to a different town and did the same thing. And
I've been in a really chill prison. I was on this one wing of it called the Sunblock, and we just have pools. You can chill outside all day.
My other prison, we got pools. We got.
I've been in my other prison. It's called Society.
Oh, that's
you
true.
guys might not know that because like you can't see it, but like Society is the true prison.
That's
I watched a little short video about this place they call Prisneyland, which is one of 2 prisons that's on the California model that they're trying to push.
My 2 favorite places.
Yeah, it is like the woke prison. Like there's people wearing like normal clothes, and the women's prison has a program where they foster all of the guide dogs for the blind in the area, so they get to have a puppy that they foster for like 6 months and help train it and shit.
Fuck yeah.
And it's a former prisoner that like teaches that now. And then for the people that don't really fuck with dogs, they can become an optician. So they're working on like glasses and shit while they're in prison, so they have a job when they get out. And there's the men's prison. There's the only men's cosmetology school in prison in the U.S.
That's, you know what? I'm going to say this. That's fucking bullshit. They need to be all wearing pink. They need to eat that gray sludge.
It is funny because there was
Sheriff
still
Joe had, and then all getting abused. And then guess what? They don't go back to prison because they never leave.
There were prisoners there that basically didn't like it because they're like, they want us to do too many groups and shit. They're too up all in our shit. And then this other girl's like, it sucks here.
That'd
and
be
the
me.
reporter's like, well, how many other prisons have you been to? She's like, this is my first time in. It's so funny.
I want to do prison from home.
Ooh,
like
yeah.
online.
Ooh.
Remote prison.
Remote prison.
I want to be a
like they did in
prisoner.
2020. That was the worst when like if you had like if you're like your dad used to beat you up and he was in jail and then they sent him home and he was just home all day.
They kind of did that to a bunch of people where they commuted them to like a house arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made them go to the schools because the kids were home and then they made the prisoners go to the schools
shit.
so they could clean out the prisons.
That's the real fucking prison of our world is fucking goddamn school.
Yeah, that's what the prisoners all said. Like to a man, all of them said, "You know, this is the real prison, is school. This is even more about." Can we go back to the old one?
That's what the Stanford prison experiment was about.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Just having
they
Stanford.
They just made them go to
prison.
Stanford.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They made them go to Stanford, and they were like, "This is like some sort of prison experiment."
They're all big Cal fans.
I have to write essays.
This is about Andrew Luck and hear him chew gum. Oh, I hate this shit here.
It's fucking horse mouth.
Come on, guys. It's time to go beat Notre Dame like 65-4 for no reason again.
Hey, not anymore.
There should be a Notre Dame prison experiment.
Okay.
Ooh.
There should be a prison Jesus.
It would be like Shawshank Redemption, but with a bunch of Irish travelers.
Ugh.
That's the Notre Dame prison experiment.
Fucking going to
Yeah, I wish
prison.
Jesus went to prison. Like it sucks that Jesus got executed right away because like I would like to see what he did in prison.
They didn't have jails back then.
Well, they should have come up with
They
him.
just
I'm thinking about
killed
Hogg
you.
as Andy from Shawshank, and the movie just ends because he's like, I'm okay, Red, thanks, and doesn't talk to me anymore because he's black. I'm good. I'm gonna have it all.
Them like trying to sprinkle out rocks out of like these like super shiny pants.
Wait, they'd be really good at tarring the roof though, which they do in the movie. They're just doing it on the driveways.
They're instead of like doing the taxes, they save money for the prison guards by like, well, you can just water down this tar. You don't need to use all this tar.
Yeah.
You know you can dilute this. You're fine.
You can just get a bucket of water and then take a Bic pen, put the ink in it.
The guard's like, what the fuck do you mean I bought 3 months worth of tar for no reason? Well, let me show you.
Do you
So
trust your
good.
wife?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck do you mean? Well,
Yeah, I think I would be one of the Doge guys in prison. If I went to prison, I would be one of the Doge guys and try to like cut funding from everything and just go through and like delete the stuff. Like maybe they would get like a shipment of like new
Oh my
beds or something,
God.
and I would just say, I don't want this.
Did you guys hear the fake Doge guys in San Francisco?
I was about to
Yeah.
suggest.
The
I was
sheriff's
about to
department.
suggest if one of us goes to prison, someone else has to wear a Doge hat and go to that prison and be like,
Oh, I
I
will.
got to look over the numbers and see who we need to cut from this prison system. And then I'd see like Michael and they'd be like, all right, Michael, they shouldn't be in prison anymore. We got to let him out. We got to save some money.
I'm gonna pronounce it like Turkish, like
Doggy.
Doya. Doya.
The
I
Doya.
call it doggy.
Yeah, I'm the prison penis inspector. I was sent by the government.
Dude, I'm glad that Elon Musk is finally fucking the government doggy style, doggy
Mhm.
style.
Well, he's
Yeah.
not. That's not the only thing he's fucking.
Yeah, those 19-year-olds are the tip of his penis.
Yeah.
He came inside of Ashley St. Splooge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got his little piggy dick in her and
No, he does
Now-
IVF, thankfully. None
Yeah.
of those women really have to. Well, they probably still have to touch him, but
I don't think they do because I don't think his dick is hard enough. Like he's on
I
too many
think it's pretty
drugs.
hard.
that's even
I
weird to
don't-
be
it
like,
does
can
not
I
get
get?
hard, dog? Oh my
Sure
god.
does.
Yeah,
No.
I bet it does.
He's so
I
fat.
bet he could get it
he's
hard.
he's not without pills.
his dick gets
Well, of
about as
course.
hard as Pick Rob's gets when he's eating like the chicken fillet sandwich with the pimento
Mhm.
cheese on it, like 25% hard.
Because it's like, yeah, it's the same thing with like Donald Trump. It's like he's like talks about having sex with all these women, but like his dick hasn't been like fully hard in years.
The picture he's standing in front of all the McDonald's with his hands out. That was the last time his dick was rock hard. So awesome.
It's been pretty. I just saw this come across my feed because Milo's been going off on old Ashley St. Clair about this.
Mhm.
He's so jealous. He wants to fuck her
Mhm.
pussy.
He really catty,
Mhm.
even though he went through all that conversion therapy. But he posted like a photo of a screenshot of her replying to him like 5 years ago, saying he has 7 kids and goes through women pretty fast, saying like she's been trying to ensnare him for half a decade.
Mhm.
And Musk replied to that, "Whoa," and
Mm-hmm.
she said, "Elon, we've been trying to communicate for the past several days, and you have not responded. When are you going to reply to this? Reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who just posted photos of me in underwear at 15 years old?" And then apparently she like deleted that after.
Oh,
But yeah, it's going great.
Good shit.
yeah, I think it's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
just
cool
fine.
for those guys to get mad at her or get mad at them for like they're having like a child out of wedlock or something, and then meanwhile the guy talking about it is like just a gay guy.
Yeah,
He's a guy who was like taking dick
Ah,
up the ass like 3 years
former.
ago. A
that's
former
true. He
gay
fixed
guy.
it. It can be fixed. He's definitely not gay anymore. The way he dresses and
None of these people
acts
can
and walks
criticize
around.
anyone for anything.
No.
Because they were all just like, they're all like tech libertarians, libertines too,
Mhm.
who just went to like orgy sex drug parties like a couple years ago. And now they're like, well, I love Jesus and being trad and milking the cows out in my barn.
Can I have a? Can I need to point out. I'll point out something after this too, but I need to read you guys Joe Rogan's quote about Elon this week.
Mhm.
Okay.
People are worried that Elon is going to steal everyone's money. He has 400 billion. Elon's not going to steal your money. That's not what he's doing. He's a super genius that has been fucked with. When you've been
Ugh.
fucked with by these nitwits that hide behind 3-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive helping Donald Trump get in office and find out what corruption is really going on, you fucked up. You fucked up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum. He's going to hunt you down and find out what's going on, and that's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind examining these really corrupt and goofy
Ugh,
systems and
God.
bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
I don't think
My
like
favorite
one,
thing.
he doesn't have like $400 billion in the bank.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of loans from like billionaires in the UAE, and he has to pay them all back because he owes everybody money. He doesn't just have it in the bank. And
Yeah.
those are the type of people that steal shit, are the people that owe a bunch of money to the mafia or they're gonna get killed.
Billionaires in general, famously satisfied with their wealth.
Yeah.
More money. Oh,
Yeah. I got too much. I don't know what to do with
Give it away. Also, like, it's very funny because they're these like 19-year-old kids that are running all the Doge shit. Like their back end security that they've done is just like completely dog shit. Like people are like,
Yeah, he's fucking their ass.
well, that's
They didn't
true.
do any back end
Well, Peter
security, and
Thiel-
Elon's
Peter-
just
well,
fucking
yeah.
all their
You
asses.
can't work for Peter Thiel if you got back end security. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah. Well, he'll get through it. He knows how to hack it.
People are like accessing like their codes on like their websites and like all this shit, and it's just like these are your geniuses, these are your crack coders, these are the guys
Yeah.
who
It's
can
kids who
do
use
anything.
Chat. It's iPad kids who use ChatGPT.
No, you guys are looking at this the wrong way. They're motherfucking psychopath wizards. We fucked with the wrong nerds.
Oh no,
They don't make the old type of nerds anymore who are like the geniuses who made cell phones 40 years ago. Like the guys who were like doing like machine coding and stuff.
Yeah, you can see the source of any page on the Doge website, and they're just proxied through Cloudflare. And like you can just anybody can do updates on the Doge website. You can add anything, you can do anything you want because you can get access to the source so easily. Like these are your crack coders, these are your geniuses that are in there like fixing everything, fixing our government, the guys who can't even make their own website secure enough.
It's people who are like as smart as we are, where
Yeah.
we know how to use the computer like better than the average person,
Yeah.
but then at the same time like we can't take over the world. Like we're not that smart at the computer.
It's like when your grandma thinks you're a hacker because you can do like really basic shit.
They were like
Yeah.
good at like doing somewhat coding in college, but they're also willing to just do whatever you want and work 120 hours a week, so they say.
Yeah,
Like,
and probably let you
Yeah.
fuck their ass.
yeah, exactly, and
Yeah.
let you bend them over.
Yeah,
But
get
like
him
no
pregnant.
back-end security.
There was another
Yep.
post about one of the guys was like, I was in school with him and like we fucked up the code so poorly, and then he like spent all night fixing it, and like that's how I know like he's good for the job. It's like, well, he sucks at it. Like
Yeah.
it took him forever to fix like probably a college level coding. Like that's not that difficult. Like what are you talking about? How dumb are you?
Yeah. It's easy to overestimate how smart you are.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Like when you are like the smartest person in the class or whatever, you think like
Absolutely.
I must be smarter than everyone in the world. I must be smarter than every CEO and every president.
The smartest person, like a town of like 1,000 people, and you go to a bigger town, you're like, oh.
I mean, coding is very cool and it is tough and it takes a lot of work that you have to practice with. But to me, the equivalency is like writing on like Microsoft Word for the first time and being like, I'm like figuring out how you can write sentences on it and be like, damn, I'm an author. I got this. I can write the fucking
Yeah.
whole book out on this shit. Let's
Or
go.
being like someone who flies drones around and being like, I could fly a helicopter. How hard could it be?
They're writing whole like laws and shit now and putting departments up about AI shit and how much we're going to invest in it and shit. And it's like, why are we relying on these super genius humans now if we have all your cool AI shit from all sides? Like, why isn't that just fixing everything?
Mhm.
Which
Well,
is just
Yeah.
a whole other annoying argument. Like, these super fucking genius humans, I'm like, I thought we didn't need them anymore.
Has
well,
anyone argued that those kids are a product of the Department of Education?
None of that mattered. By the way, that fucking the Ross vote guy or whoever, the dude who's in charge of all the cuts right now,
Mhm.
said he used the words that we want to bring trauma to these workers that are basically leeching off the government with their useless jobs.
Mhm.
So, and that today included 100 rural Alaskan teachers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's so weird.
Fuck
Like I
them.
just I
It's
think
so-
about
the
all
only
the
teachers
people.
around, like, I want to traumatize the fucking natives in Alaska. That's so cool. You're literally using that language by your own people.
Like there must be all this blowback because the average person, even the average dumbass who's like, "Oh, I like what Trump says. Like we need to get the prices down and we need to start making stuff here again."
Mhm.
Like even those people, if they have like an uncle who works for the parks department and that guy just suddenly gets fired, they're not going to be like, "Oh, fuck you. You fucking loser, you piece of shit." They're going to be like, "Oh, that sucks. Like he's a nice guy and he goes to work and does his job. Like why did he just randomly get fired?" Like even the average Republican voter, they don't just want every single person who works for the government to just get fired immediately.
Bro, they're closing shit that trad guys would go crazy for, like the parks department, the forest department in Montana that includes like the people who sell the Christmas trees there and release all the licenses for all their hunting and shit. It's all shit Republicans care about a lot.
Yeah, but like they don't like
they don't.
I mean, those
they don't
trad
like the
people don't
IRS,
like
and they
going
don't
out.
like a lot of people.
No,
but,
and that's
like,
also like it's regulation.
Yeah,
They want to be able to go and
that's
they want to be able to go and shoot wolves.
Yeah, like shoot whatever, kill whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I mean, like for the most part, I think anyone would be like, this really fucking sucks. But also, I can probably call up like the in-laws that I know that are like Trump supporters and be like, how do you feel about this? And we're like, good. I hope they all get fired and they all lose their jobs.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that everybody at this point is so angry and hopeless. Like that's why I knew that on some level that Trump was going to win, because people do everybody's just like that now. They're just like, my life sucks and I want everybody else to just suffer.
Yeah.
Just fuck everybody, because no one has any hope that it's going to get better.
That's why I've always hated the doomer.
Well, they don't
shit,
want it to get better.
because it's
for
so
anybody.
useless.
Yeah,
And
it is.
The people that are like self-proclaimed and proud doomers been like, just end it all. I'm like, you don't really mean that. You're saying that because you're comfy.
Yeah.
It's not unique. That's the thing about that. It's not really unique or contrarian to be like, nothing matters and our society is doomed. That's like, everybody believes that now. So like, okay, boring, next channel.
There's those people that confuse like their stout nihilism for stoicism. They think they look so cool. They act like they're announcing they don't care as them not actually caring and like trying to lead just a good life, which is pretty cool. I'm so unaffected by my doom scrolling.
I do appreciate.
Ridiculous.
I'll say this though. I appreciate Donald Trump putting an alcoholic
editing out the rest of the sentence.
Well, I apologize. I appreciate him putting an alcoholic as the Secretary of Defense. Pete Hegseth was drinking bourbon during one of his press conferences.
I think it might have been water.
I think it was bourbon. I think
it's funny if they make shit up.
Yeah, I think it's bourbon because
I think it was pee-pee.
I think it was white rum that smells like tanning lotion.
I think it was a gay guy's really brown pee that he was drinking.
Maybe.
I think there was like a little gay guy like crouched under the podium, and he hadn't drank water in like 2 weeks, and he was just peeing brown pee into a glass.
I do love the blue checks. The first blue check reply I saw said it was a pretty small sip, so I'd say that's reasonably controlled drinking. And then like a shrug emoji. Like the famous thing for alcoholics is they're really good at self-control.
Yeah,
and
I mean at this point
bit.
it's like that's kind of small potatoes.
Just drinking at work though, and they're like, that's a pretty small.
Yeah, it's a pretty small
controlled
amount. I don't see the problem.
Like I don't trust that guy sober. It's like if there's like a 10-year-old on the highway driving in front of you and someone's like, he just had 2 beers. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference.
But it's just so funny to like, you just go out there and you're like, all right, well, I gotta drink.
Whatever. Yeah, you couldn't do it like 5 minutes ago.
Pete Hegseth looks like a guy that Dexter would have to kill in an episode.
I mean, he is someone that Dexter would have to kill.
He does look like
Most
someone
of the
that would wake
people
up fucking saran wraps.
I mean, Matt Gaetz, like a lot of people involved.
I wish Matt
like
Gaetz was in there.
Matt Gaetz could literally be a Dexter kill. He's from Seaside, Florida. He could be a little Miami boy.
I mean,
I was down there trying to find a new son.
I'm just here to find a new son. Well, what happened to your other sons?
Yeah, what happened to that kid?
I still follow Nestor. On Instagram on his private one, and I always tell him like Merry Christmas and shit. So he thinks I'm a friend. I'm really weird about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's in the Air Force now. He's married.
Honestly, that was pussy cuck shit for him to adopt like his ex-girlfriend's younger brother or something. Like you're taking care of, like he's not even with that girl anymore. Like you're taking care of someone else's kid.
Well,
he can't have any kids of his own.
Yeah, his dick is all mangled.
No, I bet he can.
Yeah.
No, I
bet he can. I bet he can. And there's probably a pregnant 13-year-old somewhere who's gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah, there's probably several.
Somewhere in Florida.
He's probably trying to get
all over the country.
He's probably trying to get Ashley St. Clair pregnant over and over, and then she's like, I just had a baby and it's Elon's. He's like, fuck.
Somewhere there's like a 13-year-old girl who's trying to get an abortion and it's Matt Gaetz' baby. And the fetus is in there and it like won't come out. And he's like, It's like a little gremlin. They can't get it out. It's like a cat who's like in like a carrier. A cat who's backed into a carrier and you're trying to get it out and it's like,
That ultrasound would look like the mom is pregnant with a Funko Pop of Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Oh man, that's so hot.
I want to see that.
Well, only if she was overage, though. Like if it was an 18-year-old girl pregnant with Matt Gaetz as Goblin, then it would be hot. But
Well,
as it
I don't.
stands, I don't think it's
Yeah,
hot.
I don't think he's interested.
Did you guys watch any great films this week?
I did.
Yeah, Kinda Pregnant with Amy Schumer.
Yeah, we got one from Jason here.
That's ugh.
Mostly
My,
weekend.
my girlfriend was scrolling through like whatever on whatever streaming service they're just looking for a show. And she saw Amy Schumer and she's like, I don't get people that. She's like, why do they even show us her? It's like, she doesn't even know a lot about Amy Schumer, but she fucking hates her, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's Kinda Pregnant. I guess it's just like her wearing like a fake pregnancy suit, and that's the movie. That seems like a movie they would have made like 30 years ago.
I watched Soul Plane this week, and that movie,
Oh,
Great
wow.
movie.
very dated. Wow.
Yeah.
There's this one part where you think like
Yeah, it's all DEI crap.
they're just showing like the POV of who's getting on the plane, and everyone's turning, going, and then it's just a fucking regular Muslim guy, like an Arab.
Oh no,
Man, that's such a classic 2000s. Just seeing
Like,
an Arab.
isn't
and
Snoop
getting so
Dogg
upset.
Muslim? I think Snoop Dogg is officially Muslim.
Well, he
Oh,
was
he's
when
in
he
that
was
movie,
Snoop
right?
Lion, I think.
Yeah, he's Rasta.
He's the pilot.
Rasta
Oh, he's-
When he
Muslim.
dies.
Rasta
Um,
Muslim, yeah.
A Muslim is a me says.
Yeah, there should be Rasta Muslims who like they worship some guy in like Somalia
Mhm.
instead of Ethiopia
Love that.
or Sudan.
Um.
Like, let's do that. Like, let's find one of the Muslim countries over there.
Oh, real quick, one of my favorite things about Soul Plane is how I thought about our stream because how Tom Arnold's they're the white people and they were coming back from Crackerland, which was Disneyland. This is what it's called in the movie. So stupid.
I watched National Lampoon's Puck starring Bon Jovi.
Oh, wow.
Steph and I were gonna watch it for the hockey show, and we are gonna have Demi and Tom Walker and his wife on to review it, but they like couldn't, and so now I think we're gonna do that next week. But I watched
it
it
would
a
be a
week
conflict
ago,
of interest because they
and-
worked on it.
and fucking, I'm looking at my notes from when I watched it, and I'm trying to parse what happened in the movie. But like, it starts with a janitor he's like cleaning up a courthouse, right? And there's
Mhm.
a bunch of like women hockey players in there, and there's like a Zulu warrior, and kind of just like central casting weird stuff going on. And he starts talking to Bon Jovi's best friend, and Bon Jovi is an inventor who he was a former lawyer, but he hated like the
Why can't
rat
you be
race
Bon
of being a
Jovi?
lawyer.
Interesting.
Yeah, why couldn't they just have him be a rock star? Like, does he need to work that hard?
Well,
No one's
this
gonna
is
buy
important
that.
for the film because he's like a loser and he lives with his sister and his nephew, and he's trying to make inventions, and one of it's like a circular frisbee boomerang thing, and when he's like showing it off to investors, it like hits him in the face or something, and his sister asks him to like serve hors d'oeuvres at this big like lawyer party thing that she's doing, and
Mhm.
he gets into a fight with a little person
Mhm.
and ends up tossing him into a punch bowl. And there's like a disembodied voice from the crowd that says, "He's drowning a little person." And one of his inventions that failed was he tried starting the Worldwide Mall Wrestling League, which was wrestling, but it took place in malls.
That's an
And-
invention.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not really an invention. It's sort of like a business entrepreneurship.
And then he's at like the supermarket or whatever, and they offer him like a cheaper price on something if he signs up for this like credit card. And so they send it to him, and he's like, "Oh, great! I can use this to start my new invention, the Worldwide Women's Hockey League." And then for some reason he jumps onto his nephew's bus, and he's like talking to a kid on there about his idea.
Mhm.
And the kid asks if the women are going to be topless. And then he says, no one will want to see that. And then it cuts to a scene of the women in the change room topless. So there are titties in this movie.
Oh,
Ugh. Ah!
Oh, that's fucked up.
It's
Yeah.
gross.
Anyways, he gets a bunch of credit cards because no one will invest in his business. And he like creates his women's hockey team. And he gets the credit. There's a place called Credit Card Central, which is like a big evil headquarters for all the credit card companies.
Okay.
And they want to go after him, and it turns out that the head of the credit card company is a little person. He tried drowning in the punch bowl.
Oh.
In the entire movie, there's maybe 5 minutes of hockey. They they have like the tryouts where all the women are they're wearing like skirts and like booty shorts and sports bras and shit with their titties out, and then they play like one game against each other, not has nothing to do with the plot, and then the credit card companies come after him, and it's like 45 minutes of courtroom drama about basically he's saying that like debt isn't real and it shouldn't be real, and credit card companies like fuck over the little guy with high interest rates, and they kind of like trot out all these different witnesses of people that were like able to get credit cards even though they shouldn't have, and the judge says that's okay, and yeah, that's basically the end of the movie. There's a girl in the crowd of the hockey game wearing an AdamandEve.com tank top.
Okay. Shout out
yeah.
to them. Make some lovely products for you and your partner to use on each other when you get nasty style in the bedroom.
That's a cool message. Like, debt isn't real, but also they should make it harder to get.
Well, and
You should have to have a 700 credit score to open a credit card.
the happy ending of the story, they save the Worldwide Women's Hockey League because all the women on the team get a credit card themselves to fund the operation.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's cool.
doesn't
Yeah.
really help. I don't think that. Oh, I guess if your message is.
It had a surprising amount of heart.
That's a good ass idea.
It's like one of those companies like Uber or DoorDash
Mhm.
where they just get loans, and then when they're not making
Yeah.
money, they just get more loans.
the angel investors, and it's like we made
Just
so
keep
much.
getting them.
Yeah,
Get
we
your
don't need
devil
to make
investors.
We don't need to make a profit.
I got my angel investors. I got my devil investors. It's Harvey Weinstein. I visit him in prison. It's Diddy. Diddy is
Yeah.
one of my devil
Diddy
investors.
investors.
My Diddy
The
investors.
devil investors, they give you a bunch of money to invest in your stuff, but they're allowed to come over to your house whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Shit like
you
that.
have to sell them your soul.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't fuck with that. Honestly, angels though, I fuck with angels on the real.
Yeah, I think
Biblically
they should be in
accurate
the
angels
outfield.
where it's like all like eyes and like they're super scary and shit. But
I think we need to send the angels back to the outfield where they belong.
I think the angels need to play in the infield because who gives a fuck about like the outfield? Honestly, like make some double plays.
You can call a really ugly guy that biblically accurate angel investor.
Biblically accurate angel investor.
Yeah.
You're just a big an eye in a cloud of smoke.
Bunch of money around you. Ooh.
I need
Oh, that'd be
that.
cool.
I need some angel investors for my new video game I'm making.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What's
they're
it
cool.
about?
I'm making a video game where we should make it about angel investors.
Actually, I do have an
To entice them.
idea for a video game. I wanna make a JSON VR experience where you're like walking around an apartment and like you have to try to cook and like but like everything's blurry and like it's sort of like QWERTY too, so you don't really have like full access to your hands. You have to like really focus. You have to look at your hands before you can grab something. If you look away, then like you drop it and like you have to keep staring at it. And also you have to try to like cook dinner. You have to like try to sit down and like order an Uber and do all these things, but you're just going through the lens of JSON. And then, like all of a sudden,
cool.
like it'll start spinning. You don't know what's going on, so you have to like try to drink a beer to calm down.
You gotta do like AB spam to stay standing.
Yeah,
I think we should make a game where you're like Peter Thiel or a rich
Oh.
guy like that, and you basically just walk around and people are like, "You're so smart. I respect you so much."
Oh, I'd love that.
And you win the level by like getting a 19-year-old boy pregnant,
yeah.
Mm.
getting his butt pregnant.
Defeating science and getting a teen boy pregnant.
Yeah,
a legal
getting into
teen
his,
boy.
his hairless
legal
butt cheeks.
teen boy.
A legal teen boy.
Booty pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Getting him booty pregnant. Because then you would have to invest in that because it's about how cool he is. You could do it with Marc Andreessen, and it could star
Ooh.
like a guy who has an egg-shaped head.
Yeah.
And he goes around and women are like, "I love your egg-shaped head."
You're walking around at like going through like a Starbucks and like everyone just sitting down there. It's like, I love eggs and I love egg
Yeah.
heads and
The
they're
problem with
sexy.
most guys is that their head is so round. I hate how round their head is. It just fuck. Dating is so hard, and then they see the player character, and they're like, "Oh my
You'd
god!"
probably make Marc Andreessen so mad if you're like, hey man, you better be careful with the prices out there like that.
Yeah,
Careful
dude, you got
walking
a price
around.
on your head. You got a price on your head,
Yeah.
Damn.
Whose bounty is
dude. Dude,
this?
watch out for bird flu. Watch out for bird
Oh,
flu, Mark.
man. You're
Woo.
expensive, Mark.
Got him.
Mark,
Probably so
a
rich.
dozen of you would bankrupt me. Hey, can I borrow your head?
I don't want to put you all in one basket, buddy.
Yeah, you got to diversify with your angel investors.
Oh, it's all love. Thanks, Angel.
Thanks, Angel.
That's the real angel investor.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
CJ's
should get some
angel
money
investor.
from her. Yeah, we should pretend to be a 17-year-old boy
Ooh, let's go.
and catfish like Farmville moms.
Yeah, we need to go live.
Hey, I'm 17. I'm in high school.
17.
It deepening your. I would have to do that.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Hey.
oh, I'm a teen boy.
Oh, hey,
I'm a
what's up?
teen
I'm a
boy.
Zoomer. I'm a top 50 prospect.
Oh, hello. I'm
I'm a really fat kid.
I'm a really, really fat kid. I'm a top offensive line prospect. I'm really, really fat.
Actually, I'm a really cool kid. I sing like beautifully. I have lots of friends and I have a rich, fulfilling life. I just really like hanging out in these YouTube chats for about 18 hours a day.
Yeah, I love just like spending all my time with as like a really attractive normal person with
Yeah.
a great life. Like I love spending all my time talking to like the people that stand outside liquor stores.
The people from under the stairs.
Yeah, like the people who just ask you for a cigarette every time you walk by them.
I suck up to the kick joker all day.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I think that's
Making
I want to be
graphics
like
for 'em and stuff.
a guy who tries to be Aiden Ross, but he's like 42.
Aiden Ross with his mom.
You can see his kid walking by his green screen, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah.
Fuck out! Fucking
Dominic.
Oh man, I forgot about him.
So
The
awesome.
Hex Joker.
I still see
That
him
guy was
pop
cool.
up every now and then, like the replies of like Asmongold being like, "I'm with you, brother."
Yeah." The problem for him is that that's just so commonplace now.
Yeah,
You can't even really do anything with that. Like, yeah, like a scammy NFT crypto guy who'll say and do whatever.
That's
And
really
he's always
funny,
trying to do
though.
SEO scams. Like, oh, there's a million of those.
Yeah,
And
that-
a lot of them are better at it than he is.
Yeah, but he was trying to rug pull like Doris.
I know. He was kind of early for everything where he's like rug pulling and he was on Kick early and like bragging about it, but like everyone just like does it better than him and he can't succeed and all these stuff.
Such a
For all these
pussy.
guys are at least getting like a few $1,000s from rug pulls, but no, not for him. It was meant to be.
We were talking about Diddy earlier, and it reminded me of I was watching
No Diddy.
a very very famous VMAs, which starts with the ever so scandalous kiss between Madonna, Britney, and Christina. Remember that one? It starts with that, yeah.
Can't believe you reminded me of that.
Lesbos. Oh.
That was my favorite because Madonna kisses Britney, and the camera immediately, like the angle, they just showed Justin Timberlake. Like was he gonna be mad? My girlfriend's
problematic
kissing
age
Madonna.
gap.
No,
He
he was
might,
like
that's why he broke up
like
with her.
clapping and being like, yeah. But, Chris Rock was the host, which scary. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nobody slapped him.
His monologue, though, for it being 2003, actually held up really well. It was funny as fuck because he said, "I see the Olsen twins are here, so R. Kelly, you stay all the way up there, like under the
Pretty
balcony."
good.
And then he said, "My favorite show on MTV, since they don't play music videos anymore, Making the Band. Who better to show these new cats in the business the difference between wrong and wronger than Puff Daddy?" It's so fucking funny. He knew back then how fucked that guy was. He was just raking him over the coals, but like,
A guy who's never been in a band, who doesn't make music.
oh my god. But
You
just
gotta make the band.
Chris Rock already knew that Diddy was like that.
Imagine if Britney Spears had been bald back then.
Oh.
Imagine what Chris Rock would have said.
Uh-oh.
shit.
Imagine what Justin Timberlake would have done.
He would have said some crazy ass shit, and then Madonna, who was Britney Spears' wife at the time, because it was the last person she kissed.
Yeah.
Madonna would have just come up on stage and decked him.
Chris
Yeah.
Rock did get Justin Timberlake kind of mad 'cause he's making fun of his punked episode and said, "You were crying when they told you were broke. You had tears in your eyes. Then when you said you got punked, you turned black again." We were all like, "Oh man, my dog, that was so good, dog. Oh shit, dog." That was so funny. Justin Timberlake was laughing his ass off. He did it.
Yeah, I'm only black when I have money.
Justin Timberlake did one of those like scream laughing one man standing ovations at it. He was like, "Ah."
If you can't handle me at my white, then you don't deserve me at my black. That's what
All
Justin
right,
Timberlake
All
said.
right, Jack Jr., calm down.
Yeah.
Jack on his stream today said, I didn't watch most of it, but one of his notable quotes was, I heard Kendrick actually said a slur to Drake during the Super Bowl performance. I didn't know about it. Jack Jr. told me. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about."
What slur? What
He
the
called him the
fuck?
K word.
Yeah. Called him a
That's crazy.
pedophile. Jack Jr.'s like, that's a slur to
Yeah.
me. Not allowed to say that. What slur?
I don't know, but
What the fuck?
Jack also said a week ago that, because somebody's like, "Doesn't Jack Jr. say the N-word?" And Jack goes,
Yeah.
"You know what? I'll tell you this. Jack gets along with the blacks." And I've heard him say when his friends are over, he says
Plus,
it
he's
to
got the
them.
pass.
He says,
Yeah.
he says, he catches himself and goes, but he says it to them very respectfully, and he only says it to his black friends. He would never use that with a white person.
Saying Mr.
And then,
N-word.
Yeah, talking about the N-word. Saying he would never use it with a white person. Then he kind of realizes how fucking fucked what he's saying is, and he goes, so, yeah, it's weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. If
It
that's
made
what's
so
happening.
much sense in his head, and then he said it. Even Buttertooth Jimmy's sitting there like, hold on a second.
I don't think
Like, you don't need to make a defense like that.
First
at
of
this
all,
point.
like, is
you
Jack
can just say
Jr.
like, he said a bad word a long time ago. Oh, cancel culture.
said a
You know,
bad
you
word
live
10
and learn. Like,
10 months
no
ago,
one
man.
just brush it off.
No one's hanging out with Jack Jr. anyways in person.
I just love how he thought he was like putting a big spin on the story. He's like, of course he
Yeah.
says the N-word with his black friends. Stupid
Yeah.
The
fuck.
cool ones.
He would never say that with his white friend. He says it respectfully to his
He
blacks.
would never call a white person that.
He literally said he gets along with the blacks. It's so like it's like a fucking David Wayne writing quote. It's like a Wet Hot American Summer quote. He just gets along with the blacks.
You don't need to say that.
No.
You don't
at
even
all.
need to answer that. If someone asks like, why does your 27-year-old son say the soft day N-word? Just say like, I don't know, ask him.
I've never heard him say. That's not my problem. I don't give a fuck. Ask him. Here's his.
Whoever keeps telling Jack in his
Here's his
lives
address.
that he keeps seeing Garrett in Thailand is so funny. Like I said, my friend was in
Garrett.
Thailand. The oldest son that he
His
choked.
first son that
lives
he
there
choked.
now.
Oh, okay.
And somebody said last week, my friend said he was in Thailand and saw Garrett, but didn't want to tell me why or where. And when I asked him about it again, his face turned pale. So fucking funny. And Jack just like stops to read that and just stops talking for like a full 10 seconds. Is like, no, you didn't. I guarantee you didn't see him. And then he goes, he's not even in the main city of Thailand.
Main city of
Main
Thailand.
city.
So you couldn't see him?
Ah, all right, Gary. What are you doing in
Well, I guess
Thailand,
he's not
brother?
there. if
Jack's
he's not
just
in
trying
that
to
one
not say
city.
Bangkok because he can't block his dick
Yeah.
anymore. That used to be the funniest fucking joke in the world. Capital
Bangkok.
Thailand. Bangkok. Punch your friend's dick.
No, jack his
Yeah.
dick off.
Yeah. I wish it was Suckcock.
Yep. There should be a
I wish the
suck-cock
capital
time.
was Suckcock so you could do that joke and just get down on your knees and suck their cock.
Yeah, and you can't get it in trouble because it's part of the joke.
It was capital Nepal. They're like, oh, I don't know. You go, cat, throw a cat at them, then push them into a man, and then throw a Mountain Dew at their head. Do.
Yo,
Fucking got you.
what's the richest city in Wyoming? Jackson Hole, and you start jacking off onto their asshole.
Throw them over.
Yeah, pull their pants down.
I start
You
blocking
gotta
your,
do it. You gotta let me do it.
I
I
start
got
blocking your penis. It's just Jackson now.
Oh man,
Trump needs to change back to Jackson Hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
American Hole.
American Hole.
One of my mom's youngest sisters went, like, this is probably 20 years ago now. She went to Jackson Hole for like a college semester or something, and came back a massage therapist, and she brought back this white guy dreadlock boyfriend named Nick that would always wear a drug rug, and he had like
Ooh.
seashells taped to his dreads and shit.
Seashells from where?
The
Wyoming,
sea.
dude.
Yeah, the
From
Wyoming
Wyoming.
Sea, the Great
Uh.
Sea of Wyoming.
They traveled all over. It's been stuck in there a while.
Yeah, he just
It's
hasn't
tape.
showered yet.
I think he's a fake coastal guy.
Tape.
That's cool, man.
Oh,
Tape
man.
in some shells.
I can't
to
imagine
your
being one of
dreads.
those. I can't imagine being like a drug rug guy.
Yeah, that was like a situation that would happen in a movie back then that wouldn't feel real. Like your pretty normal aunt brings home like the most fucked, like I don't even know, man. He was like sideshow
Yeah,
Bob.
it's like a forgetting Sarah
with
Marshall
dreads.
vacation.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
I can imagine it. I just don't like drugs enough to be that guy. But like, I imagine your life as that guy is like, I don't give a fuck about anything other than just kind of like getting fucked up. And
Honestly,
just, like,
that guy's
floating
probably
through life.
awesome too, but
Yeah.
also
He's probably chill. I
white
just
guy-
don't get
white
the
guy
aesthetic.
dreads are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like I've done all the prerequisites. I've listened to the right music. I've done the right
Mhm.
drugs. I have the right ideology, but I can't. Like, why would I get dreadlocks? Why would I want to wear that stinky jacket or those stupid necklaces or play hacky sack?
You better play music that goes along with it if you're a white guy dreads. And I'm not talking like hippy dippy shit. I'm talking some sludge and some doom, some stoner metal.
Do those guys do dreads?
Oh yeah, like with Primitive Man. That's what I'm thinking of. All those types of dudes have like long ass white guy dreads. But I also
Mhm.
just
No, those guys should have to have universal lemur hair,
Wow, that's good hair.
just completely straight and just greased down.
dry and greasy. That's my
Oh,
gal.
yeah.
Don't talk about my gal like that.
Yeah, group home baddie.
I'm still in
Group
shock.
home baddie.
I'm
GHB.
still shocked that he's like a
GHB.
college professor.
Bringing my GHB to the club. No, it's not. It's nothing bad. It's my group home baddie.
Yeah, this is a Discord thing. Somebody got contacted posting a picture of the universal ape and the universal lemur and the Disney ape, and somebody who was not even a viewer of ours messaged them and said, "Hey, he was my college professor.
Yeah, why are you
And I thought he was
messaging-
a pretty cool guy until he showed up one day in a Rick and Morty shirt to class. I was like, okay, he's one of these. Pretty funny.
Yeah, like that's a weird line. Like, you thought, like how? I wondered.
I kind of get what they say. Like maybe he seemed like a cool and younger guy, but that was the breaking point.
I
for
mean,
him
he's
'cause you
probably
realize,
pretty
like,
nice.
Yeah, he's like your youngest professor, and he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he seems like he's probably like a personable guy.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he's well liked, well rated. He's obviously good at his job because he's going to Disney so goddamn much on a teacher's
Yeah.
salary.
Yeah, but it's just crazy to imagine that like that guy that loves going to Disney and like wearing like a Mickey Mouse hat, like that he would come off as really cool. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I bet this guy's into like the talking heads.
Well, and like also maybe like when he was teaching at the time, he didn't have like that little tuft of hair at the top of his
That's
head
cool.
that's just like
Yeah.
curls, and then like I mean, or like so he maybe like kind of like
The
a shaved
tongue
head,
stud?
and then
Ah.
the tongue stud. But maybe we're like, oh well, like it's kind of like out
He
there
is
for
the
like a
tongue stud.
professor to be like to have a tongue stud. It's kind of odd. It's like, hey, maybe he's like Gen X, and like that
The
was
tongue
the
stud
thing,
is
and he
for
just
the
left
lemur
it in.
bean.
Oh, of
It's like-
course, it's for the
Oh,
lemur
boy.
bean.
Well, I say
The
it's like
lemur
lima
bean
bean,
is,
but it's lemur bean.
Well, there's a hard outer shell to the lemur bean.
Ew.
He has to crack
Yeah,
it
it's like a
open
chocolate
every
covered
time.
raisin.
Ew.
He has to crack it with his tongue. Anyways, it's so cool to imagine like your professor walking in and like coming in and he's got Rick and Morty like button up,
Rolled up.
rolled up on his arms, and then there's like a Mickey Mouse shirt underneath that, and then he has like a homemade Mike Wazowski Mickey ear hat on.
That's why you don't take out student loans.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're taking out like $300,000 of student loans, don't do that.
When they
Because
said-
you're giving it to that guy. That's going to be your teacher.
When they said sociology professor, I was like, oh, I could see that. I could totally see it. When professor in general, I could see it based off of the videos I've seen. I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense where they have
yeah, like you don't have to
this
be a
like free
genius.
time, and then like you just have to like be good at school for long enough. And they're like, all right, here you go.
I need a Disney ape fan cam with all of his sleeves zoomed in on all of them
Mm-hmm.
with that song.
And I assume it's not like, I don't think he's like a Columbia professor or
No.
something. It's probably like
shouldn't he be
the
teaching
17th
now?
best college in like New Jersey.
You just take a semester off to go to Disney, or like
Bro, he's probably just doing like remote shit.
Or he's like he like teaches a class 1 year and then doesn't the next year or something like
Yeah,
that.
he could be like what is it? A part timer. I forgot. I'm drawing a blank on the
adjunct.
Yeah, a junk professor.
a fake professor.
Yeah,
The
so
junk
he's probably just
professor.
doing some shit.
A fucked professor.
I don't know, but
If
like
you're not
also
a full professor, you should have to pay the students.
he acts like he travels around like he's had tenure for a long time. So
For
Yeah.
10 fucking years.
yeah,
The tenure for 10 year.
Thinking that's what it is, getting mad after 10 years, you don't have it. Why don't I get my 10 year?
My 10 year.
Going into the dean's
What the
office, where's my
fucking-
10 year?
Where's my
What the
10-year?
hell? I left
the
London.
hell?
They give me my tenure.
You fucking bitch! I'm gonna fucking kill you with my 10
I've
They
been
didn't
here
give
for-
me, I worked there 10 years, they didn't give me my 10 year.
My tenure. Fuck. Do you think there are any teachers
like
in the world that
41.
think that's what it means? They just never seen the word.
Probably.
Probably
I'm sure
not.
there's a couple. No,
10-year.
I think there's
In
gotta
today's
be
day and
10-year.
age, maybe.
Dang
Well,
age.
Literacy is on the decline.
But to be a teacher, you gotta like do a bit of school, you know.
That
Yeah,
does-
you really have to.
Couldn't get confused by a synonym or not.
The only
synonym.
reason I would think that teachers know what it means is because teachers love to bitch to other teachers about that type of stuff. It makes
Yeah, they gossip.
Mhm.
Teachers are like Redditors. Like younger teachers and they're like Redditors, basically. They're like those type of people. Like they're smart and responsible enough, but like I guess I can imagine him as a professor. That is the person that's in a lot of white collar jobs. Is like a Disney adult, and those people like, hey, they
Yeah.
show up to work and they're like really horrible to talk to because they're into like awful normie shit. But like They keep the world running.
I don't care. I don't care if you're a Disney adult. Like, none of it matters to me. It's wild to me that you are continuously like filming yourself doing all this and like eating and like just going to like Disney restaurants and like
do you even go
filming all
to
this
Disney though if
content.
you don't film it now?
And then, well, that's true. But then like also because if you go to their Instagram, all the things are like just way more meaner comments about her than anything we've said.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
whenever I look, it's
yeah.
always positive.
Well, they delete a lot of stuff.
They do
but,
delete.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
He
of
tries to
negative.
respond all like I don't think he lets her read them, or she can't read them. She's group home baddie. GHB.
Because I sent you that one
Yeah.
today, Tom, of them eating like the giant fucking ice cream sundaes the size of your
Yeah.
head that cost
They love it.
$13.
I want to suck his Dole Whip.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
But like, so you have to go to one that's like actually been viral. Like, if it has like 200 shares on it, then it's just the normal like Disney people that are like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, it's great. But then there's a few that go to like 10,000 shares or like 1,000, and everyone's just like, who the fuck is that? And it's like, ah.
Yeah, that's the thing. When something gets picked up into Reels, it goes into just the broader internet
Yes.
where it's just random people just scrolling through shit and it pops up. Like same thing with TikTok, where it's kind of like it's good in a way if it can get you an exposure, but it's also kind of dangerous because
Mhm.
someone like Outlaw will just get picked up by the algorithm, like when his shorts get picked up by the algorithm, and people are just like, "Why the fuck aren't you like? Why are you chewing with your mouth closed? Or why are you chewing with your mouth open? This is disgusting.
Mhm.
What's wrong with you?" Like normal people who like don't have the context, and that can be like very shocking for someone like that who's in like this cocoon.
Yeah, bubble.
They're only talking to like other Disney adults who are like, "Oh, I wouldn't say anything mean to them."
Yeah.
And then it randomly gets put in front of like 16-year-olds who follow Andrew Tate. And they're like, look at this fucking ugly whore. Fucking kill yourself. And that's just a big chunk of the internet.
Like, I feel bad for some of those people because it's just like, you know, it's not always great to get the negativity, but it's like the internet.
No, but
that's
also
what
like
it
you
is.
don't have to make that.
You don't
shit.
have to do it. Like,
You don't have to film your life and put your boring content.
and like
on the
because you're
internet.
not making any fucking money off of it. So who fucking
Yeah.
cares, man?
You're doing
Like,
it for free, and you're not really doing anything like creative.
yeah.
Or
You're just
fulfilling.
going.
You're
and
just
going like we.
You're
eat
paying
this.
money and then filming an experience that anyone can have.
Yeah.
It's like streaming a game, and that's just all like cutscenes.
Yeah,
and
it's not
tutorials.
educational. Like there's like people that make the money on that shit like are like, here's like the 5 things you need to do, and then like they show you like, oh, here's like tips
Yeah.
and tricks, and
Or it's like
okay.
very well
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
well shot.
exactly,
And
like,
they make sure not to be like really weird. Like
Yeah.
even Peter and Kitra, like Peter knows that he shouldn't be in the shot the whole time because he looks like a turtle. And they try to do like shots of Japan and
Mm-hmm.
like music in the background. And like, so you can kind of like, even if you don't like them or you find them weird, you can kind of zone out a little bit and just
Mhm.
enjoy the experience. But like the lemur and the ape, they're there the whole time, just making like the weirdest face at the camera the whole time.
The video where they're on the cruise ship and they're eating in that like super fancy like steakhouse, and he's wearing the Mike Wazowski homemade Mike Wazowski ears, and then like this bright fucking green button ups with sleeves rolled up, and you see in the background, and there's people in like suits and dress shirts, and like it's like this
God
really
damn
nice
it.
like
Chad.
steakhouse, and then like it's a 15-minute long video of just like them eating their food and like talking about it. It's like,
I'm a
shut the
Monster
fuck up,
Inc.
man. You're in a like this restaurant. Just fucking eat your food. You don't need to be filming it 20 all the time.
Like it's barely even Disney. It's like you're basically in Orlando. You're just at like a restaurant that's like loosely Disney affiliated, and there are a lot of people who aren't Disney people who just go there to get a $50 dinner, and they're like, I like Monsters Inc., which came out 27 years ago, and they're not even making a new one.
Maybe, who knows?
Like, all right,
But it's like you're not providing anything. You're just saying like, oh, like this is cool, and it's like, okay, but who the fuck cares? Like, it's
Yeah.
not this like big.
I'm
unique
not
place
eating the
that-
food.
It's not
That's
this,
not
like-
true. Because
It is
have,
true.
No, they have like you can only get this fucking type of Mickey Mouse ear add-on at this specific store in Disney Springs, or you can only meet this mascot like if you're taking a
But they
Disney
don't
cruise in
highlight
fucking
it.
Barbados.
It's like the whole point of those videos of like the travel videos, like they should be focusing on the product, and like it should scroll through. It should scroll through like a good travel thing or a good like reel where it's like go to these like restaurants, go to these stores. It's like it goes through, it shows you the store, it shows you what is there and like the unique products. What they do is just like film themselves, and then she speaks in her fucking Jersey accent, holding up like some hat like 5 feet above her head because he's not looking like he's not bringing the camera down to her level. And they go, and then you can only find this in here. And then there's that. And then he turns around and he gives this grin and like sticks his tongue out so you can see his tongue ring. It's not useful. And I love
he
them.
makes sense and she doesn't. As far as like their whole thing, I don't get it. We just hit a dog and we're gonna eat it. That's it. Like, she just jumps in to say something. We just hit the small dog and we're gonna eat it.
That would be the best. I would be very interested in that content.
It would be cool if they were just going around Disney, just stealing people's pets to eat them.
I would love that.
She looks like
that would be great.
She would love to pick up the mulch that smells like hickory. Mm-hmm. This is very good flavor.
Just chewing on it.
Yeah.
On the car ride, she just has like a big
She's eating it with her hands up by her
mulch.
face like a squirrel. So cool.
That's
getting
like,
banned from a national park for biting trees.
Eating too much bark.
We don't do that.
She's not allowed in the redwood.
They're doing that thing where they're putting their arms around the big tree, but she's got her face just buried in it, like.
Chaining yourself to a tree so you can eat it.
They can't stop.
You're not getting me off of this.
I don't know. My whole point is, I just don't get like. You can't put that out there and then just like hope that you stay in your bubble and that only everybody just loves my stuff. Everybody only loves me and I never says anything bad about me. And it's like, what the fuck? It's the internet. Like some random person's gonna be like, you fucking suck. And it's like, okay, who cares?
It's a weird middle ground that a lot of people are in, which is fascinating, where they're doing something that's like clearly very performative.
Yeah.
That they probably wouldn't be doing if there wasn't like money or attention involved. But they're also like, they don't care enough to like pay attention to it or make it like really appealing to people.
Yeah.
But it's also still very artificial.
I guess like Outlaw, but I'm right when I'm watching him and I say, Outlaw, if you're listening right now, you just realize how lucky you are that we're watching you and our people don't fuck with you all the time like all these dipshits used to.
Oh yeah.
Because that one guy used to get on the fucking call with him all the time, D-Crack, and be like, Mikey, I just know you banned a lot of us tonight, and I just don't know going forward if that's going to be something you want to be doing. And like freaked him the fuck out.
Yeah, it's like evil teenagers, like the people that used to like try to get Chris Chan to like.
It's like Mean Girls.
Yeah, they are. They have nothing else to do, and so they just like fuck with these guys like 24/7. He is lucky. It's just me being like, you're a fat fucking idiot, and I'm not calling his work and like saying like, oh, Mike Outlaw. You don't get fired.
Yeah, we got a call from an evil 13-year-old for you.
Quick update. Tom noticed it on his stream because a lot of people were asking to watch the no fan cheating after watching the Christmas or the Outlaws family interview video. They want to watch the one chip challenge video with no fans cheating. Anyway, Outlaw edited out most of the ice cream part now.
Yeah,
it was like eating his snot and stuff.
Yeah, it ends right when he starts eating the ice cream.
So he's not eating his snot anymore.
Yeah, because that was my favorite part when I watched it, and like he would have the ice cream and the snot dropped out.
It's so weird because like he imagines that there's someone who's gonna watch that where he's doing this 44-year-old man's doing the one chip challenge on his couch while his wife is like in another part of the house. And
avoiding him.
He's reading a fucking Pat the NES Punk Nintendo book that he paid like.
He's not.
Well, no, he's not reading it. And I love how the fan is blowing the pages. So every time he sees it, it's on a different part of the book. But like he probably paid like $80 for that at a convention. It's just like a description of every Super Nintendo game, which he doesn't play.
No.
But he's like someone's gonna see that video. And then they're going to get to the part with the ice cream and they're like, oh, no, this is gross. I don't think this is cool anymore.
Yeah, like anybody could actually get that far. But I think he deleted it probably a few years ago. I've just never rewatched it. But because I criticized it because like he's eating the ice cream and you can see the snot dripping out of his nose, falling into the ice cream and just going into his mouth. But that was the funniest part of the video.
Yeah.
So I'm mad that he deleted it.
Now we're not even going to rewatch it. to
Just
Yeah.
delete the whole thing. Like, why would you keep that up? It's just so weird. Like, to be that self-conscious. Like, I would understand if he was just a guy that said, like, yeah, I'm a disgusting pig.
Yeah, right.
And I get food all over myself and get snot all down in my mouth, and I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
fuck you.
folks.
Watch it. Yeah, like Fat Man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gross and I'm destroying my life, and watch it or don't. Fuck you. I'm like the freak show. But to be like, no, I'm going to upload half of my one chip challenge where I eat my own boogers.
Mhm.
And I don't want the other half because I don't want people to think I'm weird.
Yeah, I hope no one thinks I'm gross from this.
I hope no one thinks I'm gross.
Where the fan is also blowing snot into his mouth as it drips from his nose. So he's still
Yeah.
eating snot in the video. It's just...
And he tells his family about that.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving, he tells his family about the fucking one shit. Like, goddamn. I can't imagine that. Like, it's already embarrassing enough for him to just talk to those people.
Yeah, well, they talk to him like he's 11. Like, oh, do you still like He-Man? And
Almost
he goes,
worse.
well, Transformers is number one. It's like, oh,
But he's talking
okay,
about
sorry.
doing the one chip challenge that like high school kids do.
Yeah.
And they have to go home because they're like throwing up and shit. And he's like bragging about it and saying, well, people on the internet said I was cheating because I had a fan on. And Tom said I was cheating. But he's like bragging about doing that shit.
Well, they
The
of course
video
know
where he's
about
got
me.
boogers going into his mouth.
You know that he talks about me, and also they talk about watching the dunk video. They talk about the home run derby and the boxing, and he mentions me in the dunk, and he mentions me in the home run derby, and in the boxing video that he plays, it starts off with me as like the fucking goblin. So his family members know about me. He talks to me about his wife all the time. I'm sure she has to be like, shut the fuck up about Tom. I do not care about Tom.
Just keep pumping away. Stop mentioning it.
The one boyfriend I think
Finish.
would want to watch his videos to make fun of him with the girl. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's like, oh no, we've seen that one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can kind of. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, the like, oh man, I can imagine.
I sort of get the vibe from like his cousin.
If that was
she's
my
like
cousin-
nice, but she's kind of like, you got to see this shit, and then he does.
Oh,
It's pretty-
yeah.
it's pretty.
And she-
like here, I got to prepare you for meeting cousin Mike.
Yeah, because he's gonna ask you about this.
He's
shit.
gonna talk about his
Mike's
YouTube.
just
he's
another
gonna,
guy
He's
where,
gonna
like-
try to interview us, and then immediately sit down and ask us to interview him.
And it is such a fucking imposition on people to make them even consider that shit. Because like, if I had a family member who was doing that, like food reviews, I would say like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
like whatever. I'm
Let's
just
not
gonna
talk
pretend
about
it's not happening. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to make fun of. Like, let's just whatever. Do it in your
Yeah,
own
exactly.
time. But then he like comes to Thanksgiving and he's like, I'm gonna film a video where you have to ask me about my one chip challenge.
I will say the best part of that video, and I probably mentioned before, but like I don't remember it. But on this time, there's a kid in the background, like speaking and asking a question, and
Yeah.
whoever's filming it goes, shh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, like whatever. Even if the kid is like, I want to go pee pee, like
Yeah.
that's more important than Outlaw
Anything that
doing a fake
child's
interview
saying
about the one
is
chip
more
challenge.
important than this video.
Anything that 3-year-old is saying
And
is
more
more
interesting.
important and valuable than
So annoying.
This fucking almost 50-year-old man just like still like treating him like a baby and like validating his stupid dream of getting famous for eating ice cream. Like, shut the fuck up and just like let the kids enjoy the holiday.
He's like an over the top ridiculous character that would be like in a Judd Apatow movie. Like he's Alan from The Hangover.
Yeah. Just
Like
so
you should,
annoying.
your family
He's
gatherings.
such an inconvenience.
You
It is
shouldn't
so
be
great.
like centering. Like, I'm sorry, you've had like 20 years to prove that you're good at any of this shit.
Yeah.
Well, he is the king of Zelda games, so shut up.
That is
That's
true.
true.
That is true. He truly broke me on Friday. the Super
video
Bowl
with
video.
Nick? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
the Super Bowl video with Nick is legitimately insane, and it never gets less dumb. It just continuously gets dumber and dumber and dumber.
It is gore, like you said. It is just it's beyond cringe. It's like I want to turn it off.
It
I
makes
just wanna,
me
it's
sick
so
to my
weird.
stomach. To me, it's like the equivalency of being like 12 and then like someone's like, oh, let's go on rotten.com and
The
like, let's see some beheading videos. It's like, no, fuck this, man. This is
Yeah.
disgusting. Why would I watch this? That video
No.
where like the puppets and like they're clearly not happy. They're doing this while watching
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
It's
Outlaw's
not
like trying to watch the
pre-recorded.
Super Bowl, and Brian's like, "Oh, you want to do the puppets?
let's
you want to
pull
do
out
like
the
Slimer
puppets.
puppets?" And
Oh,
Outlaw's
I'm
like,
gonna
"Oh,
make you a
okay."
drink there, Outlaw. I hope you drink it all. And he's like, clearly,
it's for nobody.
It's like gross. Like it's not even gross. It's just Outlaw hates alcohol and he can't drink it. And Brian still plies him with alcohol. Oh, okay, it's pretty crazy.
It's just so weird. Like, if you guys don't like doing weird puppet skits, and you like you want to watch TV instead, just go do that.
Yeah, no one's
'Cause no
stopping
one
you.
likes it.
Yeah.
No one likes the fucking puppets that you do. And if you guys don't like it, just do something else.
Have fun
like,
with
it's
each other.
crazy.
That's what I've said this whole time is like, if Outlaw just enjoyed what he enjoys his anime, he enjoys football, he enjoys baseball, he enjoys his video games that he's bad at. Good. Who cares? It doesn't
like there are
matter.
a million guys in America who do that, who are just some guy who drives a van or works in a warehouse and goes home and loses at a game and eats too much junk food and like, well, okay.
Yeah, so what? It means nothing to me, but like that you film it and you think you're like this like self-important like person and then you're going to be a famous voice actor for 18, 20 plus years going like, the fuck is wrong with you?
He's gonna have a Letterman jacket that says voice acting on the patch.
Yeah. A really lucrative job. It's really good. Anime voice actors, they get paid so well.
Yeah, famously
It's not just
paid
something where you
well.
get like you get paid like $5,000 to be on like a Crunchyroll series, and then that's like your income for 6 months, and then you have to like go get another job.
I love how that's his plan too. What advice do you give to someone getting in the business and like, don't do it for money, that's for sure. It's
Yeah.
not any sort of career. It's something you do because you love it and it can maybe be supplemental income, but don't go into it wanting fame or fortune.
Yeah,
And then
like the most
I do
well-paid
love-
voice actors
what
are
he
just regular
wants.
actors.
my favorite
They're just people who are
like,
famous from other stuff.
He like clearly is past the point of like caring what they say, and he asks the question just to ask the question. But like in the early videos, the interviews he does in like 2018, where he's like, "Well, what do you think? Like, you know, what do I got to do?" And they're like, "Well, you got to move to places where they're hiring for. You got to go to LA. You got to go to like Houston." And like you can see his face drop because he's like, "Well, I can't do that." They're like, "Well,
Yeah.
you got to like work and you got to like take these classes and you got to like use your voice and you got to like do acting school and you got to do all this work to be prepared." And then you can see his face just sort of drop and be like, "Well, I don't want to do any of that. Where do I get famous?"
Sometimes he pushes that to the side and is like, what about having a YouTube channel? And they're like, sure.
Like what he wants to do is like he goes up to some voice actor at a convention and asks them that, and then they say, "Oh yeah, you can be on my show. You can do
Yeah.
a voice on Rick and
Oh,
Morty."
yeah,
and
you can
also
be Rick.
when you fuck up every single line read, they won't say anything because they'll just say like, "Oh, it's fine. Just don't worry about it, Mr. Outlaw."
Yep.
You're great,
And it's
Mr.
fine.
Outlaw.
And then also you get $1 billion and you get to like live in Beverly Hills.
Dude, you're fucking famous. And you're right. It is called the Krabby Patty now.
And the fact that there are like 500 people like lining up outside the door who could do a better job than you
Mhm.
and wouldn't cause a problem and like clog the toilet, we'll just ignore them. We'll just like, we'll hire you to do it and fuck it up
And
because
not do
you're such a
anything.
nice guy to be
Yeah.
around.
We love you.
And we love you.
And we
Yeah,
love
we just
you,
love you as a
listener.
person, even though you're just a weird resentful guy who loves candy and soda.
And if anyone's listening to this in an Uber, we hope you've had a great ride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Don't forget
Enjoy
to
your
tip your
destination.
don't tip
driver.
your driver.
Yep. Don't tip
Wait.
them.
Ask your driver if they're a Trump supporter, and if they're a Trump supporter, don't tip them.
Yep.
And then try to grab the steering wheel.
Put $5 on the dashboard and take $1 away every time you fucking.
You keep leaning up over them.
Yeah. Put it on the
Yeah.
put it on the steering wheel or on his lap.
No, it's
Yeah. Give them Bible dollars.
Yeah.
it's just stacks of quarters and 4.
Just
It
roll
would be
around
funny-
the
all over.
dashboard.
It would be funny to tithe at your church with the Bible dollars.
Yeah. Put them in
They pass the change plate, you put the Bible
Lord, I
dollars.
thought
in.
you'd
Well,
like
you
that
got- you don't-
shit.
Yeah, you don't like Bible quotes? You of all people don't like Bible quotes? Okay.
Interesting that
Interesting.
you wouldn't want your soul to be saved.
What are you, Jewish? I think